Hi. We have had quite a day. You've seen, I'm sure. My hair. I see my hair is looking a little messier. Okay, well that's okay. It is.
Guys, and she's deciding to be over here instead of watching X-Men First Class and drooling all over James McAvoy.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm seriously talking drooling.
Yeah, as I mentioned, I can't wait for Glass to come out, but that's not today's topic. So, in addition to our morning, you know what? I forgot to mention to you guys that our sleep last night was interrupted by our neighbors who like to party all night long. In fact, in addition to partying all night long last night, they were partying all day yesterday. And so, even if we had any foresight to take a nap during the day because they were going to be partying all night, well, we couldn't because they were playing their loud music all day. So, I'm not one to stir the pot. Once it's stirred, I may get in there a little bit, but I never try to start stuff, and I never try to just be a nuisance or anything like this. But our neighbors have been our neighbors for, I want to say, 15 years. I think that's about accurate, 15, 16 years. And we've had several chances to call the police on them. I'll get to that part in just a minute. But one day, a few years back, both Jason and my caregiver came at the same time, and they came in explaining to us that they would have been here a few minutes sooner, but it was just that they each had to find a parking spot because the neighbors were partying, go fig. And when they party, they invite all their friends and family and everyone but us, it seems like. I don't know, but okay. So, half the street was blocked up with cars. When they park on this side, all down the way, and then they park across the street. And I guess no one cares, but I was very, very frustrated with this because they do this all the time. And our caregivers, it's not fair for our own caregivers to have to park someplace else and walk to our house. Like, we don't live in a I don't know where you'd have to do that, but this is our house. And I was like, okay, well, this is going to end now, right? So I'm nice about it. I don't, go off the handle or some, stuff like that. But I went next door with both of our caregivers, and I'm like, hey, you guys, can you please leave some of the street? Can you please not park in front of our house? Because I think I stopped there for a second, and they're all drunk. They got their bottles. You can see they've already been drinking, and they got the music on. And he's like, well, it's the street. And I'm like, okay, so you're going to be a dick about this. I'm like, all right. I said, yeah, I know. I realize it's the street. But, our caregivers, sometimes they have to come in here in a hurry, and they just have to park and run in here and make sure we're okay. Whatever's going on, they just have to, so would you please just leave the one spot, like right on this side in front of our house, just so somebody can get in, please. And he's like, well, we'll see. And I'm like, and then he starts going on this rant about how they don't appreciate how we called the cops on them. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I never called the cops on you. And then here's the thing. Here's what I mentioned earlier. We had several chances and opportunities to legitimately call the cops on these people. So this was a pure coincidence that this happened recently to that event that I, went over to their house. I left a note on their car. They parked kind of in our yard, and I was just a little upset because of all these things they do. They get drunk, they put their beer bottles and cans in our yard, their little kids would be running around our yard and drop their pizza crusts. I mean, they were just messy, right? And who wants that in their yard? And it's these guys, and then they party all night and do all these things. So the car was in our yard, and I left a note on their car. It didn't say anything rude. It said, "Please do not park your car in my yard." Well, I guess if I knew something was going to happen, maybe I wouldn't have left a note, because somebody did call the police. It was not us. And I don't even know why the police were called. I really don't. But they thought that since we put the note on their car, which was obviously us, I didn't sign it, but quite obviously it was me, and that's fine. But they thought since we put the note on their car, then we must have called the police. Real coincidence, because we did not call the police. And I tried explaining that to them. I never called the cops on you. I don't know what you're talking about. Yes, that was my note. I was upset, and you moved your car, and that was that. Why would I call the police on you? But they insisted that we called the cops on them. Now, here's the thing. In this whole 15 years or so that we've been neighbors, first of all, they always party very late at night. Like, we're talking like 4 in the morning, late. So one day I did leave a note on their door that said, "Please, can you turn down your music after 2 in the morning? Some of your neighbors are trying to sleep." Did they? No, not really. I think they did that next time. That kind of chilled out a bit. But no, then they got right back to partying till 2, 3, 4 in the morning. Actually, I do think they didn't party till 4 in the morning after I did that. But they still partied till at least 2:30. So, so okay, that's annoying. So then one day, I should have called the police, but it was not me who saw this event. It was my caregiver. It was 4th of July, and she used to walk the boys for a few minutes while I was in the shower at night. And so the neighbors are popping their fireworks in the backyard. Well, I guess one of the fireworks went over their house, and she's walking the boys in the front, right in the street. And so apparently the firework came over their house and landed in front of her and our dogs, like a foot away, she said, and it scared the crap out of all 3 of them. So, but I believe we had a ban on fireworks that year because it was so dry and they're worried about fire, and you just can't, you just couldn't pop fireworks. Well, so I said, you know what, if that was me out there, I would have called the cops, because it almost hit them. She told me it was a foot away, and I'm thinking, that's pretty dang close, right? But she kind of just like, oh well, none of us got hurt. It's okay, whatever. It was like, okay, well, if I was out there with you, I would have called the cops. That would have been a worthy thing. So the next thing I would have called the cops on, again, it was my caregiver. I was in the shower, and a different night. When she was walking the boys, they were getting drunk, partying, whatnot. Their music was loud, like they always do. It was like 9:45 at night. Okay, not even like ungodly hours. Apparently, some guy just whips it out and pees. And he must have been like so drunk, right? Who does that? Well, it was in their yard. It wasn't in our yard, but still, she saw that and well, she just laughed it off. But I'm thinking, I know they have kids, and I don't know if it was one of their friends or whatever, or one of them. I don't know who it was, but she just laughed it off, thinking it was funny because he was obviously drunk and all this. And I'm like, you know what? That sucks. If I was there, I would have called the cops on that because that's lewd and that's just nasty. And who does that? So, but at the time that I went to their house to ask about moving their car situation, they're all drunk, and you can't just sit there and be like, look, dudes, I would have called the cops on this and this and this and this, but I didn't call the cops today, We called the police one time. I want to say it was a couple of years back because we were just so dead tired, and all we could hear was their music, and as they get drunker and drunker, they get louder and louder. And so they're all like screaming at each other. I think it was 1:30 or 2 in the morning. We're trying to sleep, And I'm like, who does this? But that one day we called, and that was the only time we ever did that, when we could have so many other times that would have been legit. What else did I have to say about this? And they're out, like, they used to be out every weekend. Now they're not out every weekend anymore since all their kids grew up and moved out of the house and all, but twice a month maybe they do this, and they were doing it last night until I really don't know when. And they weren't all screaming and carrying on and all, but like they do sometimes. But they were loud, and the music was on. In fact, the music was on from like 9 o'clock yesterday morning until 1 o'clock in the morning this morning. So whatever they were doing, maybe they were having a birthday party, like, I don't know, maybe it was an anniversary, and so if it was that, maybe you could kind of forgive that a little bit because it's family oriented. And if that was the case, it's like, well, maybe that would have been cool if that was the case, because if someone partied like that for my birthday, that might have been kind of nice. But I don't know why, I don't know what's going on. And then they're just so, and I mean, their dogs get into our yard sometimes. We had a friend like patch up our fence a year ago because their dogs kept getting into our yard and we'd have to fix it. Now, Jason and I can't fix our own fence. How are we gonna, so friend came out and did that for us, and it's just like, but how are these guys, like, I don't understand them. But then one day, out of the blue, I guess it was a couple of years ago, it was just so weird. They came, knocked on our door, and then they were like, hey, we mowed our lawn, their lawn. We mowed our lawn, and we saw yours was long, and we decided to mow that too. And we're just like, oh my God, thank you. That was so nice of you. Like, what? Why are they being so nice to us? All of a sudden, like, they didn't ask for anything. They didn't. And so I'm kind of like, I don't know where to go with this, I don't know how to take them. Back in 2015, I don't know if I blogged about this or not. I hurt my knee so bad. I was in such incredible pain that we called the ambulance. And they took me to the ER and everything. Well, the ambulance came and got me, and they're loading me in into the ambulance, and our neighbors are out, and I guess they were drinking. I don't know. I just assumed because they always are when we're. So, but the part that I guess shocked me was that nobody even came out. Like, whoa, why is the ambulance picking up our neighbor? What's going on over there? I hope they're okay and all, because they obviously know we're in church and stuff like that. So, I was kind of shocked and maybe a little angry and hurt because they're just sitting out there and just they were probably more just like, oh man, we gotta hide the booze. The cops are here, right? So I don't know, but and I don't know. Do you guys? I don't know how to take them. I mean, sometimes they're and I try to, when I bake breads, sometimes I'll give them breads. I gave their daughter a bunch of clothes for her baby. I mean, we're really nice neighbors, and I just don't know what's going on with them. Yeah, they were partying all day yesterday and all night, and then so we wake up this morning and then have a hell of a day, and then on top of little sleep, and I don't know. I think, hey, Jason, did you want to say anything else about them? I just feel like we could have, I mean, really, we could have called the police so many times and we never did. And then that one time that they thought we did and they totally flipped out. And I'm just like, you guys, what do you, and then it was later. It was only in the last, year or two that we did call that one time in this last 15 years of them being our neighbors. And then, like I said, that one time they turned around and started mowing our lawn and doing nice things for us. And we're just like, what? But,
Guys, do you think we're being anal, or do you think we've got a legit gripe? What's been y'all's experiences with neighbors? I mean, we like to party and we understand about partying, but we don't want to disrupt other people's lives just because we decided to party. So we're throwing it out there to you guys. What do y'all think?
I guess that's it. We just had to rant, huh?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, say your line. Since it's your line.
Guys, we just wanted to rant and bounce ideas off you, and we're gonna go now and be good to each other, and we love you.